Welcome back. Sorry for the abrupt end of the last one, but actually wound up talking to Daniel, and I got really worried that it would prevent me the way that when I got done talking to him, it assigned me all these quests for the evacuation of New Canaan. I mean, evacuation of the Sorrows. And I thought I might not be able to. I thought I might not be able to still have the option to choose Joshua's side, and I didn't want that choice made by default. So I went back to a previous save, and I'm coming down here, and for some reason, this night when I loaded it is brighter than the other night. And one of the things that also happens...
Green monster men aren't native to Zion. Wonder where they came from.
Told you about 22. But I also learned that it's time to say goodbye to Follows Chalk. Because whatever I do when I get done speaking to Daniel here, it winds up making it so that Waking Cloud will become my follower, and the game wants you to have only one follower at a time, so good old Follows Chalk says he's needed back at home. So I'm going to do one last check here to make sure he doesn't have anything of mine.
Let's get to...
And I'm going to see if there are any other dialogue options.
What can I tell you?
No, I'm going to miss you, dude. So just saying goodbye, and we'll
go with fortune, friend.
See ya as the rest of this lines out. Alright, let's start talking here.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
I'm glad this is daylight. He kind of had little demon eyes from being in the dark and having a fire reflect in his eyes. But, oh, actually, before I start talking to him too, I am going to...
Until then.
Oh, wait, actually, I'll start talking to him. I'll do it.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
There's something that doesn't change the game, but I'm incredibly curious all the time and have to see everything. And there's one of these that I can't pass without having my speech above a certain level, and it just opens up a couple more things that he'll tell me about the past. There is one from Joshua as well, and I'll get to that when it's there. But I really don't like in New Vegas the way that these speech checks and things like that work, because they're all either automatically guaranteed to fail if you don't have the skill, or if you have just one over the skill, then they're guaranteed to succeed. In Fallout 3, there used to be a percentage chance. And like even if you had high speech, sometimes the percentage chance was 80%. And you wouldn't be guaranteed to succeed, and sometimes you'd just fail. And if you had really, really bad, you could try, and even if it was a 15% chance, you might that 1 out of 6 or 7 times succeed. So anyway, I got excited when I saw this because I said, oh, maybe I could have traded with him, but we'll see.
I should be able to address most common problems. What's the matter? Yeah, you don't look too bad. Shouldn't take much to get you fixed up.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay 150 caps
Suit
for
yourself.
whatever he thinks is wrong with me.
I should be... I can provide medical assistance. I can even use supplies that we have here. But I can't just sell what we have. I need to address problems as they arise. And most of those have to do with the Sorrows or dead horses.
He has really strange shaped eyes. Yeah, so see, with these, if I had buffed my speech or barter too, I could convince him to sell me stuff, but that would feel wrong anyway, even if I could have. But notice they just go red, and it means I'm going to automatically fail.
Thank you. If I can help you in some other way, don't hesitate to ask.
So let's ask him about Randall Clark.
Father in the... Oh, right. He's some spirit the Sorrows used to believe in. Watched over them from the caves in the valley. They marked some of the caves around here because they think they'll be punished for going inside. I think as more of them learn the teachings of the new Canaanites, they'll lose their old superstitions.
I think they're the same as your superstitions. Yeah.
Oh? Oh. Of course. How stupid of me. They probably also think Mary is the mother and Jesus is the child. No wonder they picked up on things so easily. I guess it just goes to show how difficult it is to communicate sometimes.
It actually shows how hard to recognize that your own superstitions are just the same as tribal ones.
There's an old saying that goes, if you want peace, get ready for war. You've got me figured half right. I'll shoot dead any white leg that tries to creep into this camp. But it's only to protect the Sorrows. The Lord helps those who help themselves. But the Sorrows don't know how. Joshua and I do. Since I got them into this mess, I need to get them out.
Okay. Yeah, why not?
There is an important difference between killing in defense and waging war. Even a Gentile like you should know that. Joshua is a living Bible of all mankind's miseries of war. The debt he has levied through his actions, he repays every day. He is a monument both to God's unending forgiveness and to humanity's unfathomable capacity for cruelty. It's written on every inch of his body. When you look at him, do you only see a man of God? Beneath those bandages, he is burned flesh. As he burns, so does he consume everyone around him. Joshua wants to fight because the Whitelegs have stoked the naked flame inside of him. You see the light, but do not yet feel the heat. I can pray that you never will. But it isn't up to me, and it isn't up to God. It's up to Joshua.
Okay.
I used to help the Sorrows with various medical problems and general issues they were having, but my bishop sent me here as a missionary. We New Canaanites believe that there is a path to salvation for everyone, and it's important that we set people on that path if they are willing. A spiritual wasteland, yes. We believe that before this life, our souls existed elsewhere. And after we die, our souls will leave this world. During our time here, we have the burden of choice. The choices we make determine where we go in the spirit world and how we will face judgment. New Canaanites believe, as many once did, that God was made flesh here on earth as a man named Jesus Christ. He sacrificed his life to save us. Every sin, every terrible thing that you, me, or any one of us have done for all time was washed away by his blood. We just have to accept his love. That's why we visit the tribes, to spread the good news. For all we know, we New Canaanites may be all that remains of Christ's followers.
Spread the good news. Want to be rude? Oh, this is the least rude one to say.
That's actually a better response than I usually get from Wastelanders. No offense. Tell you what. There's a lot going on right now, but why don't you take this? Read it. Maybe you'll hate it, maybe you'll be bored. But if you have questions, assuming we get through all this, let me know. It used to be my job to answer those questions. Maybe it will be again.
Okay, I did something different last time because I didn't get him to give me a Bible. I didn't get to that thing. I must have...
I used to help the Sorrows with various medical problems and...
So yeah, I think I followed these and got caught up and didn't go back in here.
I'm trying to make amends for allowing our problem to become their problem. The New Canaanites, I mean. The Whitelegs have always fought with us. And with Joshua returning, Caesar has motivated the Whitelegs to stamp out the New Canaanites entirely. That means the tribes we work with, too. It's already happened. I just want to prevent something terrible from happening to the Sorrows. Yes, but not just Whitelegs. Raiders, too. Prospectors, slavers. Anyone who thinks they can exploit the ignorant and the innocent. We lost the Tar Walkers and the Crazy Horns. We did our best, but we made mistakes. We paid for them. But they paid more. I'd like to get out from under that debt someday. Until then, it's enough to stop ourselves from getting deeper in the hole.
Still don't know why his eyes aren't round. It bugs me sometimes as he talks. Yeah, I skipped this path too. I just did the bishop one.
To remove the sorrows from harm's way. I have to give credit to the Whitelegs for finding their way here. Though I imagine many died in the process. But they can't follow us east. Not into the Grand Staircase. They don't know how to live off the land. We head there. We can find some safety. Of course.
Okay, I'm gonna break off here because I think. Or wait, no, it's again under this. What do you do here? I'm gonna have to go back in there, I think.
They're hateful savages who live only to plunder and destroy. Their leader is a devil called Salt Upon Wounds. War is all he knows. Everything he has, everything that tribe has, was taken by force, raiding, and scavenging. It's said there's no man deadlier at close range. That power fist of his has smashed 100 skulls. Maybe that's true, but so what? It's a low form of leadership. A tribe that knows only war has no future. And so he'll lead them to Caesar.
Sounds more like why we should destroy him. But, okay, I'm going to go back into this, what you do here, because I know there's one more, but I'm going to stop first and buff up my,
Until then.
Speech skill. Oh, I had my gun out. Okay, let's see. I will go to apparel and put on my Nuka Break stuff, because it makes me more charming, because everybody loves a good cola. And then I will take some Party Time Mentats. And as much as it's kind of a waste, I'm going to go on ahead and use the magazine. I have 3 of them that will buff my speech by 20. Just because I'm really curious about the ones that require me to have my speech above 60.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? I used to... We knew...
Okay, so here's the one about the bishop.
Yeah. Bishop Mordecai is... Sorry. Mordecai was my bishop. He was killed by Whitelegs during the attack on New Canaan. He was responsible for our congregation there. I don't know who my next bishop will be, but that's a problem for tomorrow. There are plenty of troubles here for us today. Look, I've got a lot to do here. My personal relationship, it's not important right now. Can't see how it concerns you anyway. I never thought I'd be in charge of anything. Don't know why. Bishop Mordecai was old. He had been sick for years. He couldn't walk anymore. It wasn't a problem for the rest of us. He made it out to be more trouble than it really was. Just his way, I guess. When the Whitelegs came, he was upstairs. We couldn't get him out in time. The house caught fire at the base and worked its way up. Fast. He didn't die of smoke. I wish he had. Sometimes I wake up and for a minute or two I think all of it was a dream. But it's not. It wasn't. I wish all of this were some fevered vision of what could have been, instead of what is, what we let happen.
And he doesn't have save games to go back to. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't have him downstairs if he couldn't walk anyway. But yeah, let's ask about New Canaan.
It's not a subject I'm fond of discussing. It's over and done with anyway. Why are you so interested? True enough. We can't escape it no matter how hard we try. Best we can do is own up. Trust in the Lord to forgive. Joshua was gone. So were a lot of the other New Canaanites. Whitelegs must have been watching for a long while, counting who remained. We didn't think the Whitelegs were a real threat. Maybe it was overconfidence. Maybe sloth. Either way, we didn't see them coming. They attacked at night. They killed without regard to age or infirmity, armed or unarmed. They beat children to beat them to death in their beds while they were sleeping. And now we're all that's left. Maybe 30 of us. Pride goeth before destruction.
All right, and turning in this quest, we'll actually wind up, like I said, making follows Chalkhead home, and we'll get Waking Cloud as a follower, and it'll trigger the end of this content, the last set of stuff to do, and it's also going to level me. So let's go.
Well, I'll be. I was starting to lose hope we'd be able to get any of this, much less all of it. Tribals are smart, but, well, they're ignorant. Letting go of a taboo is difficult for them. So I knew it would have to be one of us. Turns out all it took was a Gentile, or, no offense. These supplies are a godsend. But if we're going to evacuate Zion without drawing more White Leg attention, I need you to go back into the valley. Specifically, I need you to scout out some locations for White Legs and try to recover a map of Grand Staircase, a wilderness area to the east. There's also the matter of the roads. We're going to be heading out of the east side of the park, but I'm not sure the way is clear.
Yeah, I think they want to go out through that tunnel that we found. And so this is where, because my only options were anything I can do to help, or be, you know, sort of tiny bit rude or completely rude. And so I thought, oh no, I'm trapped. But I get these quests, and then Joshua will be nearby, and I'll be able to choose. So
I appreciate the enthusiasm. There aren't a lot of people in the wasteland with kindness to spare for anyone who isn't kin. Since you've been poking around the valley, you might see more activity from the Whitelegs. One of the Sorrow's hunters, Waking Cloud, has volunteered to help guide you through the valley. She has a special talent for staying out of sight. After this, it's just a matter of getting everyone out of here safe and sound. And hopefully you can head back to the Mojave without any more trouble.
yeah, everyone who's around that's not a raider is kind of kin, some way or another, or not a bad guy. Okay, so he's given me some pre-war mining explosives and a special detonator. They aren't useful as weapons, but could be used to collapse certain caves if that proves necessary. So I think if you do the escape thing, you wind up having to blow up some caves so you don't get
here we
followed.
part
Oops.
ways. I'm needed back at the Dead Horses camp. Maybe I'll see you there sometime.
See? Could be.
Sorry. Joshua was pretty clear. Get you to Daniel, then come on home. You can take it up with him if you'd like.
So I was pretty smart to not come talk to Daniel till the end. I had a feeling it would trigger stuff awfully fast, so could be really cruel, and I'm not. So
I will. Good gunning, Akis.
bummer. And there's our level up. So I'm gonna take energy weapons up to 80, and then I'd like to get explosives to 50, and I got 5 left, and I'm gonna dump them into speech because, you know, I like knowing what people are gonna say. I know I still should probably get my science up to 80 too. Well, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do speech to 30 and science to 80. And at some point I'll work on lockpick guns and explosives more. Yeah, there's so many choices. Alright, and then on these here, I looked through them all before. There are no new ones. And I looked through again, and I think, and it actually turns out that with energy weapons, when I get them to 80, I get this Pyromaniac for free, along with another one that's not on this list that increases my laser damage. Be nice to carry more, but I think what I'm going to do is take Finesse, which increases the chance of doing a critical. And then at some point soon, I'll do with that, there's a, where is it, better criticals, so I can do 50% more damage every time I do, which that'll help me with when I do those sniping shots. If I get a critical headshot, I have a higher chance of doing it, and then it'll do more damage. So that's the plan. And we are level 17, and I think... Oh, that's weird. I didn't get that, those two
Daniel
perks.
said that I was to travel with you until you have completed your scouting. Is this pleasing to you?
Okay.
Certainly. We should make haste then.
So I get the Quiet as the Waters perk. While she's in my party, I can sneak past the White Legs. Their perception is decreased. So... Oh, that's really strange. The last time when I did my skills, I gained those 2 extra perks all of a sudden. There it is. Laser Commander and Pyromaniac. And, oh, and Nuka Chemist. I got that for doing it. So to show what those are, we go in here. And stats, perks. So Laser Commander, with any laser weapon, I do 15% extra damage and have a 10% chance to critically hit, plus 10%. So that combined with my finesse, I now have a 15% more when I use my most commonly used weapons. And then the Nuka Chemist says I've unraveled the mysteries of some of the greatest mysteries of pre-war masters, formulas for developing the special Nuka-Colas. Unlock special recipes at the workbench. So I guess that means I may be able to make the Quantum and the Atomic Nuka-Cola, or since it was explosives, it might also let me make the Nuka, I think there were Nuka grenades that I could make, or that you could make in Fallout 3. And then, what was the third one? Oh, Pyromaniac. That just increases the fire-based damage if we use flamethrowers, which we're not using. Those are considered energy weapons, so that's probably why we got that. So, let's see. We haven't talked to her.
Katubiu.
Let's talk. Okay, I guess we did get the Daniel Insult upon wounds from her before, but now she has this, do you have any family?
I do. A fine husband and 3 children. I miss them each day, but I take comfort in knowing they are safe. When we learned that Salt Upon Wounds had defiled Zion with his presence, Daniel ordered the children, the old, and the sick evacuated from the camp. My husband volunteered to lead the hunters that went with them for protection. I try not to worry about them, but we have had no news for so long, and Daniel seems sad when I ask him about it. Sad and a little frightened.
Doesn't sound good.
Perhaps he will. I sometimes feel he thinks he must protect me. If he has news, I would know of it.
Okay.
Then I will look forward to our next speaking.
Alright, let's see here. I'll wake you up and ask about this husband.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
Oh.
If you could part with it, healing powder would be welcome. We have enough stim packs for now, but we can't rely on that small supply. Brock and Xander plants can be found throughout the valley, and you might even find some on White Legs you come across.
Okay, I guess we can give him some healing powder.
Ah, that's great news. We can use anything you can offer.
I have plenty of stim packs, and I've got enough to make them. I'll give them all I have.
Your generosity is... well, I just can't thank you enough.
I had 12 of them. I gained karma. Let's see, tell me about Leaking Cloud's family.
What do you want to know exactly? I'm sure she could tell you much better than I. Oh, well, that's true. Waking Cloud is a talented midwife. She certainly brought more children into the world than I have. But there are some problems she's never dealt with. One of them came up when she was having her 3rd child, and I really didn't do much. I'm surprised she mentioned it. What do you want to know exactly? I'm sure she could tell you much better than I. I did.
Okay, so why are you sighing?
Her 3 children are safe. They made it north weeks ago and met up with New Canaanites heading east. Her husband didn't make it. He died protecting their children from a white leg attack. Do not tell Waking Cloud. She is one of the only Sorrows who can communicate easily with us, and her tribe needs her to be strong right now.
I think I am going to tell her.
To everything, there is a season. Who are you or I to put this heavy burden on her now?
Yeah, you're supposed to lead, not lie.
I know, you're right. I shouldn't have hidden it from her in the first place. We can't fail here again. Zion can't become the next New Canaan. The Sorrows don't deserve that. They don't deserve any of this. Sometimes I look at them and wonder if they would have been better off if those old trails had stayed forgotten. If we had never found any of them. Tell Waking Cloud if you think that's best. I won't stop you.
You could if you wanted to, but...
Until then.
Alright. Got some bad news.
Katubiu. What? No. You must be mistaken. Daniel would have told me. How dare he? What gives him the right? I thought Daniel was my friend, but he cares nothing for the Sorrows.
Okay, sounds like I could make her go kill him. Yeah. Hatch it over a little.
Perhaps. I will have to have a very long talk with Daniel when all of this is over. Thank you for telling me this truth.
Okay. And now, as we head out... Or wait, am I heading out? Which way is out? Yeah, south is out. Joshua is going to be waiting for us here. There he is. Speak of the devil, I might say, but he's not an angel, but he's not really the
By
devil.
the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept, when we remembered Zion. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be, that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be, that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Do you know what it means?
It means you're kind of crazy religious and don't mind things about smashing kids' heads on stones. Yeah.
Given those two choices, yes. In the best of all possible worlds, they would just leave us in peace. But they won't. I don't enjoy killing, but when done righteously, it's just a chore, like any other. Practiced hands make for short work, and the good Lord knows there's much to be done here.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
Happy are those who do the work of the Lord. Zion belongs to God and the people of God. It is a natural temple and monument to his glory. When our Lord entered the temple and found it polluted by money changers and beasts, did he ask them to leave? Did he cry? Did he simply walk away? No. He drove them out. It is one thing to forgive a slap across my cheek, but an insult to the Lord requires... No. It demands correction.
I don't know about your interpretation of scripture there, but, yeah, I don't know if you figured it out.
Then as a Gentile, you should find this to be even more beneficial. If the Sorrows stay in Zion, you will always have a link to New Canaan. If the Sorrows leave Zion, so too do the New Canaanites. What's more, you'll have more Whitelegs coming farther south. You may not be concerned over matters of faith, but this is a case where faith and practicality coincide. No one wants the Whitelegs here. We just need to convince Daniel that it's our responsibility to ensure that doesn't happen.
You're kind of a manipulator, but I agree with you.
Welcome back. What can I do for you?
I don't want to leave him alive, but not for religious reasons. Let's see here.
He's a butcher. Believe me, I know the godless fire that burns in his heart. I've been burned by it myself. He's not the kind to let his subordinates do all the killing. No, he likes to have a hand in it, with that spear of his. He's fashioned himself an abomination before the eyes of the Lord. I'm happy to serve as an instrument of divine justice.
So I think actually Daniel called it a power fist, and that he punches people, and then he says it's a spear. I guess we'll find out. Okay, let's do some personal questions.
It's not something I enjoy, but I pray to God that someone may learn from my mistakes. What would you like to know?
We should get a fair amount of backstory here, and even with my added speech and all my buffs, I still fail at this. So let's see what happens when I fail.
For injuries I suffered long ago.
Yeah, if you,
It's not something I enjoy, but
if you have the, have enough, speech, like I said, I just use the console to temporarily boost mine, just to find out. He says that, he's in pain every day from his burning, and he has to change the bandages every day, and that his religion wouldn't let him take chems, but he found out long ago that he's immune to them anyway, so he's sort of in constant suffering. But he should pay it because of what he had been. So, okay, were you always?
I was born in Ogden, what people came to call New Canaan. Things were more peaceful when I was growing up. When I was a young man, I went out into the world to do missionary work, as all New Canaanites do. I traveled along the Long 15 and followed 89 south into Arizona. Along the way, I met two men from a group called the Followers of the Apocalypse. Edward Sallow and Bill Calhoun. They came to teach the tribes. Calhoun was a good man. Edward was the one who got us into trouble down the road.
Yeah, I'm thinking Edward. It's one of those men Caesar.
No, not then. Back then he was just Edward. Smart man. Young, but we all were. We thought we could hike into the Grand Canyon and talk to Blackfoots. We did. And the Blackfoots were friendly enough at first. But eventually... I've thought back to that day so many times. I must have mistranslated. Something must have been mixed up, because the Blackfoots decided we weren't going to leave. The rest is history, assuming Edward hasn't changed it. This way lies the path to hell. Caesar needed me to translate. Translation became giving orders. Giving orders became leading in battle. Leading in battle became training, punishing, terrorizing. A series of small mistakes before a great fall. And I stayed in that darkness until after Hoover Dam. After I failed Caesar and he had me burned alive, thrown into the Grand Canyon. I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me. I fell down into that dark chasm. The flame burned on and on. The next morning, I woke up and crawled out of the northern edge of the Grand Canyon, that cursed place. It took me 3 months to reach New Canaan. It was as though the prodigal son had returned. They welcomed me like I had never left, never done anything to shame them. The fire that had kept me alive, was love. Their love. God's love. I will never be able to repay the debt I owe to them, but I must try. It's not something...
Okay, so now I can ask him what he knows about Caesar and NCR.
I try not to involve myself with matters of the Mojave anymore. All I know is from before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Better than Caesar, but that's not a high standard. Too much love of money and ownership. Not enough love of God and giving. Any society that derives its power and authority from the will of man alone lives apart from God and will crumble in the end.
Anything will crumble in the end, but I think they're bad, but not because they're not religious. I thought I had not asked this, but let's see.
I try not to involve myself.
I guess maybe I did. Oh, here we go. There's more. To go too deep to get to the new stuff. I wish it would keep returning me to this menu, or until I finish all the questions. Yeah, Mr. House. Yeah.
I had heard of him, but when we were preparing to enter the Mojave, he didn't seem relevant to what was happening. From what I've learned since Hoover Dam, he handled the Mojave tribes in a fashion not entirely dissimilar from Caesar. It's too bad.
So he thinks House is a bad guy, and that friendly robot in Good Springs may have had something to do with Mr. House. So maybe Mr. House is the one ordering my death. I don't know.
It's not.
And
I try.
Okay, yeah. This is an easy question.
Love the sinner, hate the sin. With Caesar, it's often very difficult to see through all of that sin to the person inside. I can say that we were both lucky that NCR supply lines and land routes north of Mojave Outpost were destroyed before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Something bad happened near Death Valley, at a place called the Divide. NCR couldn't cut across anymore, and it slowed down the reinforcements. Terrible storms ripped entire companies apart before they even got to Nevada soil. The aftermath of Hoover Dam could have been even worse for Caesar.
Yeah, what's that, the Divide?
I don't know for certain, and I don't think NCR knows either. Whatever happened at the Divide was too much for them to handle. Our Frumentari told us what they saw. Only fools and madmen would march into a place like that. All roads wind down to the same spot, the grave. They said all that's left there is a gaping wound cut into the earth, cursed and damned. No place for God-fearing folk.
It's probably full of radiation. Okay, so there's more in there, and I have to dig through all these again. I hate that.
I try not...
And it was in here.
Some terror... Not all of them. But they couldn't take 127 North to get around the mountains. As if Death Valley weren't enough, they had the Divide and Big Empty to deal with. From what the Legion's explorers reported, the Big Empty may as well have been a wall to any living thing approaching it.
Okay, and I'm just going to check. I think I've got them all, but...
It's not...
Oh, wait. Let's see.
I...
Okay, I think that's...
Better.
I think we got all of them. Yeah. And then let's check the New Canaanites. Was there anything else under there? No. Okay. Just be crass and see if there's anything to trade.
Yes.
And see if I had stuff that I needed to get rid of. I don't think I picked up that much from the little things that I killed on the way. Mostly just those little food items. I don't think I killed any people. So yeah, I still have a couple of tomahawks. I have scripture on to see what that does, or if it has any effect later. Okay, and yeah, he's only got the 12 caps left from when I did them last time. Anyway, let's see if I if it's worth having him repair anything. 13 caps, I don't mind paying that. See, 929 is way too much to pay. Might as well top off my leather. It's a little expensive for it, but yeah, 400, not going to pay. Well, I guess I could have sold him that gun. And now he has more caps, so yeah, let me sell him that gun. Anything to trade. And it's SW, where is that? There it is. Oh, that's more, so I need to buy something. Jeez Louise, what does he have to buy? And how much did that go for that I'm selling him? 200, so I need something for around 100. I guess I could buy a frag mine. I don't really need it, but that at least makes it a trade. Yeah. And I guess technically I could repair. Yeah, maybe I ought to do that.
Let me have a look.
I thought some of those were too much to repair, but maybe I ought to. 900's a lot, though. Oh well. I'll do that, and I'll leave this one alone, and then do done. And then, oh, wait. I was thinking the wrong direction. I was thinking I had more stuff to sell, and I don't. Oh, well. Forget it. That's okay.
God.
So there is no sort of little quest thing for him, so I think I have to just know that what both of them are doing is thing. And so there's the grand staircase if I want to help them out. This is the one to wipe out encampments. Kill them, disarm. Kill Yaguai. Okay, so this is all... The river monsters is definitely only if they're escaping. Yeah, I think the advanced scouts is the one I definitely want to do. I don't know if there's a point to doing these extra ones if we're not doing with the escaping. So I'm just going to go on with this advanced scouts one and make that my marker. And then let me actually then stop and look at the world map and see. Yeah, this basically sends me down completely into the little... I guess there's Bighorn Bluff is outside, and we've been up there. But then the rest of it's all inside that Three Marys area. Okay, and it's really bright for... I guess I have my night vision on, but even if I turn it off... Really bright for 1 a.m. Okay, it's probably going to be pitch dark when I reload, but... I'm not sure where at all I am in time in terms of how long this episode's gone on, because that dialogue takes a while. So I'm going to go on ahead and end the episode here and leave this mostly a story episode, and then we have a couple of fighting episodes, and then it'll probably be the end of Honest Hearts. So thanks for sticking with me, and we'll see you next time.